Episode 173 of the TV Dudes podcast, recorded February, what's today, 29th, I think?
March 1st. Dude.
March 1st, 27, 2018. I'm going to have to redo this whole intro.
No, leave it like that.
Talk TV. We don't do a lot of editing or retakes on this show, do we, Randy?
I guess we don't.
We just keep things pretty loose.
Uh-huh.
I've done other podcasts where you stop and you take a breath and you restate something if you want a nice, clean edit.
Does that podcast rhyme with the Sneerists?
The Sneerists. Yeah, I definitely do it on the Beerist.
Bar Wreck Miscovery.
Yeah, I do this on Star Trek Discovery, yeah.
I'm rhyming so they don't know that we're talking about them, Grant.
Oh, wink, wink. Oh, I don't say wink, wink. I just wink at you. I get it.
You're so terrible at this.
I don't know how to podcast. I've been doing this for a decade.
And we're so amateur. Sometimes people don't even show up to record.
Oh, yeah. Kyle was supposed to be here, but...
he is totally forgotten.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be here.
Probably not.
That's okay, Randy. You and I have been holding the fort down for the past 7 years doing this?
Oh, yeah. It seems like, it's been a while. Yeah.
You would think that we'd get good at a certain point.
We will. They say you got to do 10,000 hours of crap, and we haven't done that many hours.
Have we done 10,000 hours?
No, some of ours were good by accident, so,
Yeah. Folks, yeah, we do this pretty loosely in comparison to my other podcasts, and I rarely edit stuff out because I want that just really easygoing flow back and forth between us, and I'm lazy. Let's admit the main reason is laziness. So that's why I'm not going to change how I just did that intro.
I thought the intro was fantastic.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what we rely on. I'm like, it's intentionally bad.
It's charming.
There's an irony to it, a cool, hip irony.
It's like when a dog that's somewhat off is trying to jump on a couch and just can't make it. It starts off kind of sad, but it gets cute, and then it's sad again. We try to live in that cute space in between the two sads.
This is improv. We're like comedy bang bang without any talent.
Or money.
Or money.
Or that spectacular hair that the dude from The Roots has. Reggie Watts.
Oh, yeah. I was like, Scott Aukerman? Does he have nice hair?
That's Reggie Watts.
Yeah, Reggie Watts has much better hair. Folks, this week we are talking about talk shows, sort of. We're talking about the Joel McHale show with Joel McHale.
That'd be weird if it wasn't with Joel McHale. It was like the Joel McHale show with Danny Pudi. That'd be weird.
That'd be kind of cool, though.
I'd watch it.
It might be better.
I'd watch it.
My next guest, the second episode of David Letterman's new series, My Next Guest, needs no introduction. This is one where he's talking to George Clooney. And then Last Week Tonight is back, and man, did we need John Oliver back in our lives.
Yes, we do.
I just basked in it, and I was like, it's only 30 minutes an episode. That's not long enough. I need you more.
We need to chain him to a studio and make him work more.
Yeah, he does such a great job. Mm-hmm. Folks, but before we get into all that, we are the TV Dudes. I'm Grant.
I'm Randy.
And we wanted to say, if you guys want to help us out, there's a couple ways you can do that. Go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, write a little review. We'll read that here on the show. Helps us out. Patreon.com/TV Dudes. Make a per episode pledge. Give us $1 or $2 from your hard-earned money if you deem us worthy. And we take all that money and we roll it back into this project. I don't think any of us have taken home paychecks from this.
Oh, you're not?
We did go out to a nice meal once.
I've been embezzling every week. Is that not what you're doing?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's how I have that fancy Porsche outside.
Let me just check our account real quick. Randy!
Sorry.
You took all the monies!
Sorry.
We had $4.57 saved up already.
I know. It was a really nice Porsche.
Anyway, we want to thank all of our patrons so far that have been so kind as to support us in this little project that we love doing for 7 years. Ugh. I don't know. At a certain point, it's not a project or a passion. It's like a...
it's a disorder.
It's an addiction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's something that's probably treatable, but we're not going to get it treated.
If you guys want to support our addiction, patreon.com/TV dudes. Thanks, guys. Also, we are members of the Permanent Record Network.
It's no good with one person.
I'll help you out.
All right.
Permanent Record.
That's not how it works. Damn it.
We are proud members of the Permanent Record Network. It is a network of podcasts that are all dedicated to talking about TV in its various forms and its different incarnations through different outlets. We're talking about individual shows and doing deep dives. We're talking about broader generalizations about TV in general. That's what we do here on this show. We do interviews and targeted or these wonderful little look backs at shows that have been lost in time. Little Beach Cop Detectives, or The Good Die Young. Yeah. Anyway, you guys can check all those out at permanentrcrd.com. Please go over there and check it out. Now, Facebook time? You want to do some listener questions?
Let's do that.
Facebook.com/TV dudes. Go there, like our page, tell all your friends to go like that page as well. And once a week, you guys can ask us questions, generally about what we post about, but sometimes people don't constrain themselves, and we don't require you to.
Depending on if there's a lot of questions one week, we may not answer. If there's not a lot of questions, we may answer whatever you ask us.
Yeah. Paul Mampilli is our first question. He says, so, I really enjoy watching Scrubs, but my God, I cannot stand JD. He's the worst character ever to grace sitcoms. What lead characters do you hate in shows that you love?
I like JD.
Yeah, I like JD too. Paul, you crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, in shows that we love, a character that we hate, and I imagine it's he says lead character. Okay.
I'm trying to think of Modern Family if there was a point where I just was tired of anyone. Like if I thought anybody in there was off on the ensemble. But their ensemble is pretty solid.
Yeah. Getting tired of just like one lead person. I don't know.
I mean, I'm looking at like Cheers, which I'll always bring up as a great ensemble. I was like, is there anybody in there I didn't like? And even later when they started bringing in Paul, I was like, he was a weird addition, but they did good stuff with him. So
I mean, I can think of like characters who were kind of boring and then they got written off shows. Like Parks and Rec.
Paul Brandanowitz.
Yeah, Paul Danowitz.
Was it
Mark
Mark Brandanowitz?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, he got written out.
Yeah.
And the guy's a solid actor, just wasn't fitting with that show.
Yeah.
But a lot of things weren't fitting in that first season anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure he was like, quirky? I could have been quirky if he wanted me to. I had to play this weird straight-laced guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get to do the Ben Scott or Adam Scott's character, Ben
Wyatt.
Ben Wyatt character. He's a straight guy, but with a lot of anxiety.
Yeah. This is a tough question as I think about it. Like the shows I love and have that there's a character I don't like in, it's not common. Usually if I like the ensemble, I like the whole ensemble.
Don't you find that when we get these questions, you kind of just go through that quick mental Rolodex of like, what are my favorite shows?
Yeah.
And does anyone pop out in those?
Yeah, I ran through Modern Family and Cheers and Scrubs and Cougar Town of all things.
Man, you went back to Cougar Town.
Whatever sitcoms I watch and love, and nothing jumps out at me.
You know, this is weird, and I'll say, let me preface this. This was before like the Me Too complaints came out. But I was never as thrilled about Jeffrey Tambor in Arrested Development.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found that like with everyone else's like quirky energy, he just kind of was this droll character.
Oh, I always liked him.
And then when they did the brother character to him, Oscar, I was like, I don't know. I mean, that's a little bit too hippie.
I always liked Jeffrey Tambor in Arrested Development. I'm sorry.
I loved him in Transparent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't like him as much there.
Huh.
But I don't really have a great justification for it. I don't know.
Well, you can just say I knew subconsciously you knew he was terrible.
Yeah, he was a little bit too handsy, that feller.
Yeah.
I do not approve. Next question comes to us from Nick Ties, who says, hey, dudes, could you please put into words the exact feelings of having John Oliver back from break? Please feel free to get metaphorical on this motherfucker. This is all you beautiful poet, Randy.
There's a lot of pressure here. Let's see. So, when you're like locked in a dark room and there's waves outside. You're in some kind of boat or something, and it feels like you think you're going to die and you're going to drown. You don't know what's going on. You can't see anything. And
it was a crazy weekend we had last weekend.
And you're just like that. You're on a boat. You know you're trapped. You think you're probably going to drown, and then the door opens, and it's the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, and she's there to rescue you. That's what it felt like having John Oliver back in these Trumpian times.
Holy, I mean, that's a bit dramatic.
Look, he wanted poetic.
I would say, you're floating out in space and you're seeing the spaceship fly off in the other direction, and you're fucked.
Yeah.
That nothing good is going to happen.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a puppy comes along who's also in a spacesuit. And you know that this wonderful puppy is also fucked with you. But he's going to provide you a little bit of entertainment until you die. That's how I feel about John Oliver. It's at least I'm not alone. And there's someone else here who just gets it and is going to tell me I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Now I feel bad. First of all, now I feel bad watching John Oliver because now he's the puppy in the space, and I should at least have tried to rescue him. And B, I don't think the puppy's aware of what's going on. I don't think it knows that it's fucked.
This is a very smart puppy.
It's a very smart puppy.
Yeah.
Not smart enough to get on board the spaceship, apparently.
All right. I don't know I guess it has to be another human, but I don't think of him sexually as a hot chick.
Yeah, that's no good. What if it's just John Oliver in a spacesuit?
Okay, well, and it's I'm not.
He walks up and he's like, "Hey, we're fucked."
Yeah, I'm like, thanks. I guess
you want to hear some jokes?
Yes, please. Lay them on me. That's all I want from you. Alec Miracle says, "Dudes, I feel, and many others feel, that 16 to 24 episodes for a TV season is way too much nowadays." Oh, this is Alec Miracle, though. You know where this is going to go, Randy, right?
No.
Somehow it's got to tie into Lost. Somehow it's got to. He says, but I feel like Lost benefited from that for its first 3 seasons, before the writer's strike docked it down to a tighter and shorter episode count for the last 3 seasons. And benefited because they actually did something with those 23 episodes. Each character got a developed episode of their own. The way Lost developed its characters is iconic and signature, and the way the flashbacks and flash forwards work. Is there a show that could benefit from having more episodes to any seasons? For example, going from 10 to 13, 16, or 23.
No, because first of all, I reject your premise. Lost would have been better had it been a tighter 13 the whole time.
You know what? I actually agree with this. I think a lot of the complaints, especially for that second season, lie in them just trying to fill time. Yeah, trying to fill time, and even they will readily admit they had problems with that.
There is one show that I would like to have more episodes, and that show is John Oliver, and I would like that show to be every week.
Yeah, daily
or daily.
Give me that daily.
Yeah,
that could be a
daily show.
A daily show.
That's a lot. Maybe what if it was just Monday through Thursday?
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Like a 30-minute daily show. And he could, there's only so much news you can cover. So maybe in addition to the news segments, he could start having an interview each episode.
I genuinely feel that having less episodes in a season is better for my attention span. It's better for the quantity of shows that I want to be able to digest. And it's better for the writers to be able to plot things a little bit more concisely. And I think we always complain about Marvel, all the Marvel Netflix shows and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., honestly, because there's just too many episodes. And so they're spinning their wheels, or there's just there's 2 or 3 episodes of plot that I don't need. It could have been tighter and better executed because of it. And I can't really think of a show that maybe I'd want The Good Place to go on more if they could maintain that quality, but
they can't.
I don't think it's a guarantee they could.
No, there's a reason why you want those tighter orders. It makes the show better.
The Good Place in particular, I think, is able to execute so well because it has a shorter season, and so it's able to punctuate each single episode.
Looking back at shows that have the 22, there's nothing I look back and go, oh, I'm so glad there were 22 episodes. Not even comedies that I loved, but I look back and say Alias and think how much better it would have been at a tight 13 episodes.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's jump on to this next one from Jonathan Huffnagel, who says, "Dear TV Dudes, with all of the excitement for Infinity War, it seems everyone has a bit of Marvel fever. With that in mind, here's another silly question to help pass the time until May.
April.
Oh, it's April now. That's right. Your recent superpower-themed Patreon cast also inspired this question. So, you each have been given a few super science-filled syringes, each containing the personified superpowers of your favorite Marvel superheroes. Now, choose various TV show characters to bestow these powers and create heroes or villains within their TV show universe. For example, he would give Walter White the powers of Mr. Fantastic and Hulk powers of Boardwalk Empire's Nelson Van Alden. Hulk powers to Nelson Van Alden. Michael Shannon smash. Okay, that's kind of amazing because I feel like Michael Shannon doesn't even need Hulk powers. He was brutalizing everyone anyway.
Yeah.
And like with Mr. Fantastic, like he's not getting his intellect, right?
He's already the equivalent of Mr. Fantastic in that universe. So.
Although, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Fantastic's intellect in part a product of his powers? No, he can't be because he was smart beforehand.
Yeah, that's not a part of his powers.
But he's able to stretch his brain now in some way. Like, isn't that like some element of it?
No, that's no. I don't think that's a thing.
Like he can stretch his eyes so he can see super far.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know if you stretch your brain if it makes it work any better. Probably give you a massive heart.
I've been trying.
It might give you a massive stroke.
I will try.
I think if you could stretch your brain, you would just die immediately.
This was a mistake.
All right, so let's see. Superpowered characters. I'm trying to think. Who would I give the super soldier serum from Cap? Who would benefit from the super soldier serum amongst our TV?
Oh, that would be Mac from It's Always Sunny.
Oh my God,
man, he's been working on his quads.
Okay, well then, what powers do you give the rest of the crew of Always
Although
Sunny?
I want Fat Mac, so you gotta give him the blob powers.
Oh,
okay. If we just gave all of It's Always Sunny villain powers.
Okay,
what villains should they be?
Charlie should get the powers of Toad.
Toad?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a rat killer. Something. Yeah.
Well, no, he'd have like the prehensile tongue and the ability to spit slime. I think Charlie could make good use of that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Man, I feel like do you give Frank or Mac the blob? Because Frank, right?
Yeah. You give Dennis Mastermind's powers because Dennis should have the power to make illusions and make women uncomfortable.
He could also be a Purple Man.
The Purple Man, yeah, that's also possible. And then Sweet D, I don't know. What do you give D?
I mean, it should have to be like some sort of bird, like a Dark Phoenix or something. She has to be a bird.
Give her Dark Phoenix powers, and they still give her shit about. She's the most powerful character in the Marvel universe, and she's still like making fun of her being a bird.
Yeah, you're still just a fucking bird. Big tall fucking bird.
She's got cosmic power, and she's just standing at the corner fuming at them.
You bitches. You bitches. Anyone else you want to give superpowers to?
Well,
it's kind of a fascinating question.
I like the Always Sunny. Yeah, we can do a whole episode on this, so we shouldn't go too far with it. But let's see.
Hey, we should do a Patreon on this specific question. We'll give one more. Let's see. How about in The Office? What would you give Michael Scott? Because that guy is a very peculiar fellow. What powers would intensify the humor there?
Let's see. What would be good to give Michael Scott? What powers? I'm trying to think Marvel Universe powers. Like,
man, I want to give him Jamie Madrox. I just want him to be multiple man.
Oh, God.
So many Michael Scotts. You're like,
I wanted to get the Iron Man armor and just not really know how it works. He just kind of wears it around the office, showing it off, and like occasionally repulsor blast a piece of equipment they really needed.
They figure out how to turn it off, and he's just kind of stuck in this suit for a couple days.
Yeah. Jim Halpert, you can give that dude the super soldier serum. Have you seen how jacked that guy's gotten for his Jack Ryan role?
That's why it's called Jacked Ryan.
He's Jacked Ryan.
Yeah.
I think Pam, again, I think you're a Marvel girl, telepathic, telekinetic. Dwight, Beast, blue fur, and acrobatics.
Yeah, but he doesn't. I mean, yeah, okay. I can go with that.
I'm just trying to think what would be ridiculous.
I want to give Kevin Nightcrawler powers.
That's amazing.
Just bamf over to the kitchen.
Yes.
To get some weird food stuck in the toaster. All right, let's jump to the next question.
All right.
We might have to do something with this for a Patreon pretty soon. Jonathan Haptemichael says, "Hi, dudes. You've been given temporary TV god powers. I love when we get these. You each have enough divinity to revive one series, cancel another series, and modify a third series before losing your individual powers. The TV gods can screw over each other by uncanceling, recanceling, or modifying TV series for the worse. Will the TV Trinity produce 9 benevolent TV ideas or just mess with each other for debauchery and cocaine wine?" I think we would probably work together.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we had to come to a consensus of our top whatever shows that one time.
And we weren't able to. And so everybody died.
No, I think we all just kind of conceded to your hostile takeover.
All right. So I like the way this is going.
Yeah.
So whatever I want.
So let's see. We get to
revive one.
Cancel
another.
But we each get to revive one.
Modify.
So he's making the assumption that Kyle showed up. Kyle didn't show up.
Yep. Nope.
So we only get 6, I guess.
Yep.
So each of us get to revive a series.
Yeah. You know what series I'm going to revive.
Yeah, of course. Terriers.
Yes, Terriers.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, what show am I just like jonesing for that left the air, though?
A show that was... You don't actually want Lost back, right?
I don't need Lost back necessarily. I'm good with where it ended. I don't need a show like The Leftovers. I just I'm like, what would I don't know. I think there's certain shows in the moment where I'm like, oh, I missed that show, but there's so much other stuff that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm excited again for Arrested Development to come back, and I hope it does come back.
Okay, all right.
That's kind of a weird one because it probably will already happen.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But I love that whole cast. Except for Jeffrey Tambor.
As previously established. Let's see. Canceling a series is tough. Like, the Big Bang Theory's gone, right? Isn't it going away?
Well, do you want to cancel the Big Bang Theory? Like, I feel like when you cancel a show, you have the opportunity to reclaim those actors from a project that they shouldn't be on. Like, what was that project that Allison Janney's on now? Like, Mom?
I think she's off that now, though.
Is she?
I would like to cancel 911 because they've got like Connie Britton and I don't remember who else, but they've got a ton of talent on that show.
Peter or whatever.
You know what? No, I don't want to cancel that one. That's one I want to modify. It's a good cast, and I want to modify it.
Is that Sean Ryan's show?
Yeah. No, it's not Sean Ryan. It's Ryan Murphy.
Oh, okay.
But I want to modify that show so that it's not about 911. I want to completely change the premise, take the actors, put them something good. Completely change the premise. I don't know what the premise is, but it's better. It's not about country music, and it's not about 911 operators. Give Connie Britton something to do, for God's sake.
Okay. Man. So what are you going to cancel? Oh, wait, I have to...
Big Bang Theory. I'm canceling Big Bang Theory for sure.
Okay. Two Broke Girls, is that still on?
No, it's gone now, I think. Pretty sure.
We don't know. It could still be on, Randy.
Doesn't affect our lives, so...
It really doesn't. I don't really care that much about, what's her name anyway? You were all about her.
Kat Dennings.
Yes. Yeah. See, I only remember her name. Whatever. I would cancel the new Mayans motorcycle series because, I just don't want that to even exist.
What if
Kurt Sutter do something different?
What if you could modify it to make it the show you always wanted Sons of Anarchy to be?
No, I just don't care about biker culture anymore. Modify. I would modify Walking Dead from the very beginning to have been a bit more of the artistic show that Frank Darabont displayed in that pilot episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of that character without the interfering by Kirkman to want it to be just this hacky gore fest that's just tragedy porn.
Yeah.
So that's what I changed there.
I changed my mind, though. I don't want to revive Terriers. I want to revive the Mayans. So you have to watch every episode.
Son of a bitch. You said we wouldn't betray each other. Oh, Randy. All right, next question comes from Marvin A. Lanier, who says, "Hey, dudes. So here's the thing. I like Joel McHale as an actor, but the content of this show he has is low brow.
Yep.
I know that he is just more or less continuing talk soup, but man, 3 minutes and I turned it off. Are there any other actors you like but can't stand some of their other side gigs?"
Yeah. I feel like Patton Oswalt's picker is hit and miss.
Oh, like, yeah, he'll go on shows and I'm like, oh, you're better than that.
What are you doing there?
Why are you on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
I know you're a fan, but you're giving geek credence to a show that does not deserve it.
Yeah, that's a good example. I'd forgotten about that. And I remember being excited he was going to be on it, and then I was like, oh, why are they doing this?
Yeah. Patton Oswalt's a good one.
Yeah. Actually, Phil Coulson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is also, I understand that he's the lead in that, but he's better than that show. and I feel like I would rescue him from that.
Is he?
Yeah. He was great. He was great in the Marvel movies. We all loved him.
He was great in the Marvel movies. Well, he was great in Avengers. He was just kind of a background character in most of the other ones.
But he was a ton of fun as a background character. Like that, I think was the big issue. Is like moving him up to main player was a bad call.
Yeah, he's a good secondary earnest character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Nothing else is coming to mind for me, but Patton Oswalt's a good one. All right, last question. Hey, TV dudes. This one comes from Kyle Volte. Any thoughts on the back half of the first season of The Tick?
I didn't watch it.
The answer is not yet. I haven't watched it, but I am excited to check it out. So maybe we'll check it out after this break. What do you think of that segue, Randy?
It's fantastic.
I'm going to go with it. I'm keeping it.
Uh-huh. We got some news here. Not a ton of news, but some interesting stuff. First of all, Netflix has ordered a talk show from Hassan Minhaj, who is leaving The Daily Show to go do a new talk show. Is it daily? No. It just says new talk show.
I think it's weekly.
Is it weekly? Okay, good. So they're doing a weekly show. Yeah, weekly talk show. 32-episode order. This is interesting because Hassan Minhaj has been a really solid contributor to The Daily Show.
He's pretty fantastic. And yeah, you can just tell he's loads of talent. And I'm pretty excited for Netflix. You know, Netflix is not giving us a break here.
No.
There's so many great shows. It's like, okay, at a certain point, I'm not watching anything else because they're just taking up all my time, which seems like their tactic. But there's too much of a good thing, which can also get annoying.
Yeah. I don't know. This is interesting to me because, I mean, I love Hassan Minhaj. I loved his one-man show. I'll definitely watch this. But they note in this article from Screen Rant that Michelle Wolf was also bailed on Comedy Central to join Netflix. And she was also, we saw her live at Moontower, and she was great. She's another big get. So they've locked in Trevor Noah till 2022, but that's two of their big correspondents.
I mean, I feel like those people should only have a shelf life on a show like that of a few years before it kind of catapults them onto their own project.
Yeah, I think that's true.
It's a proving ground for a lot of them, and the people that just like end up staying there forever, like Lewis Black. I'm like, what are you doing? Not Lewis. Black.
Lewis Black. Yeah.
Like, you missed your boat.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. I think you're right. I think that generally they should be on to their own thing. But yeah, that's good for him, and I'm excited to watch that among the other, 700 shows that Netflix has, which is not a joke.
The next story.
Netflix is eyeing a total of almost 700 original series in 2018. I think I was joking about this.
That's fucking insane. Although I'll say this, my kids, they have their own special kids channel, and there's just new shows dropping all the time on there.
Yep.
So I get that's like this whole separate world from you and I and what we're really seeing.
Right.
That also includes all the movies that they're picking up and constantly dropping, and they're trying to like have original programming in every field.
Sure. Yeah. No, this is original TV shows. 700 original TV shows.
Just TV shows?
Just TV shows.
That's nuts.
It includes 80 non-English language original productions, including like things like Dark. But it includes new and original. But 700 shows. If we watched half of that, we would have to watch like I don't know what a show, a season of a show every day to keep up.
Yeah, we watched 52 shows last year. That's that was us really going for it, or at least for me.
Yep.
No, I could not. I can't possibly comprehend this many shows for a single year.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Maybe they misspoke. Maybe it's like they picked up 700 concepts that they're going to work on production and dole out over the next few years. Or something.
No, Grant. There's 365 days in the year, and they're going to produce 2 new shows every year. 2 shows every day.
Every day.
Every day.
I don't think so.
Every day, 2 shows, 10 episodes.
That doesn't make sense. They added a zero. They must have added a zero.
There's going to be 7 million episodes of content, and we have to watch and review every single one of them.
Like even
and
if
we
they said,
don't, people will yell at us.
If they said 70, I'd be like, damn, that's really high.
It's a lot.
But they could drop more than 1 a week. I get that.
Yeah, sure.
But no, they can't do 2 a day.
No. I think what is it? 52 weeks in the year. Yeah, I think about 100 is really where you want to top out. 100 a year would maybe be about as much as I would want to take.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Why do they have that much money? Why do they have that much money and that's what they're doing with it?
Because they raised the prices on the Netflix subscriptions.
No, Netflix, save our planet or something. Use your money to save humanity. The polar ice caps are melting and we don't know how to desalinize water, and we need to move off this planet and colonize other places. Elon Musk is moving his money to try and colonize Mars. Do something else like that.
But Grant, instead of having, say, a moon colony and fresh water and air for everyone, what if we had another season of Fuller House?
Okay, I mean, I guess I didn't consider that. That's a good point. Good point. Okay, fair enough.
All right, so Stranger Things, speaking of Netflix shows.
I was just thinking, what if they bring back like Step by Stepper or something?
Step by yes, more Step by Step.
Family really matters now.
Yeah. Or something crazy like One Day at a Time. No, they've already done that.
Yeah.
So Stranger Things, one of the producers has said they have no intention of making it a franchise.
And I mean, I can understand them wanting to be protective of this and not wanting to spin out of control. And it makes sense early on with this show to say that. But do I believe that?
No.
I think this has a very interesting world that they've built and a lot of spin-off potential for the lab and Hawkins and these superpowered people to exist in different generations, in different locations. Yeah.
Plus a wacky comedy where all the Demogorgons live in a house.
There you go.
Yeah.
I said pass the other soul. Don't give me that. I'm not good at the writing of this show.
I don't think the Demogorgons talk.
Don't they eat souls?
No, I don't think they do.
Well, my joke doesn't work then, Randy. It was a really good joke.
It was. Sorry, I ruined it.
For a different premise.
Well, there's in another universe, that is what Stranger Things is about.
I don't know why they didn't buy my script over at Netflix. A little hurt.
Yeah. They're probably like, I don't think this guy's even seen the show.
Yeah, what the fuck is he talking about?
This guy Demogorgon is just like an overweight man who eats souls. I don't think it's vividly described, but I don't think he's ever seen the show.
In fact, he really only has one line in this entire script.
Yeah. What's weird is it's not even a script; it's just a sketch. He just drew a fat man saying, "I'm gonna eat your soul," and signed it
with a little arrow that says Demogorgon.
Yeah, and he signed it. Grant Davis, please give me $1 billion.
Yeah. Is that too much to ask?
It's a little high.
A little excessive.
High.
That was probably the problem.
Yeah. Well, they got to produce 700 shows. They don't have room to give you $1 billion to make your Demogorgon show project.
$500 million?
Maybe go back to it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, finally, The Rocketeer is set to return as an animated Disney Junior series, which I was kind of excited about this at first because I love The Rocketeer. But then, like, Disney Junior, it's like aimed at like 2 to 7. And each half-hour episode is made up of 2 11-minute segments, including one original song. Like, that is not The Rocketeer. I don't know what that is.
I don't remember this movie all that well, and I don't remember like being all that enthralled by it. It was okay. We have friends who are just like all gaga over this.
I loved this movie.
Really?
I love this property. It's a comic book property. I have a fondness for the comic book too.
Oh, did you love The Iron Giant?
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
I feel like for some reason Iron Giant and Rocketeer go hand in hand for me. I think they came out like in a similar time, and I was just like, about both of them. Randy, are you okay? Randy,
I've tried to kill you with my mind.
are you about to eat my soul?
How can you not love you know what? How can you not love Iron Giant? I know
That Superman line didn't work for me.
I know you're
don't
a robot and you don't cry at things. That's why you didn't love Iron Giant.
I don't think
But you're a robot. You should have loved it because he's a robot.
I didn't care for the time period, the animation style.
Horrified, people. Horrified. This is like finding out your spouse went to a KKK rally one night. It's terrible.
No,
Yep,
come on.
Yep.
It's worse
How's
than
that for metaphors, Jonathan Updale? It's like you roll over, you're like, how was work, honey? And you look, and they're wearing their white sheets, and you're like, oh, shit.
All right, we're going to be right back. We need to hash something up. Folks, we're going to start talking about Joel McHale show with Joel McHale over on Netflix. We're also going to follow that up with My Next Guest Needs No Introduction with David Letterman and George Clooney, also on Netflix. And then we're going to wrap things up with Last Week Tonight with John Oliver over on HBO. But first up, the Joel McHale show, Randy.
With Joel McHale and Danny Pudi.
With no Danny Pudi.
Oh, right. You think that would have saved it?
No.
This was terrible.
Yeah.
Did you watch Talk Soup?
I did. I used to watch it with Greg Kinnear a lot.
Okay.
And I saw a little bit of it with John Henson and then some with Joel McHale. And, I think for Joel, like what Joel McHale does, he's good at it. But the material is just like the jokes are
garbage.
Mildly amusing at best.
It was all aimed at the kind of people who watch reality TV. Like I don't know who this. It was not aimed at me for sure.
Yeah, we're not the demographic. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I think I can still watch these shows and see some of the clips. Like it's a lowbrow, high level overview of all of these shows anyway, because it's just like this one weird quirky thing happened. Look at this freeze frame. Mm-hmm. Okay, next show that like gives no real context to the bigger scope of what the show is.
Right.
So I guess it's just for that audience that watches a bunch of garbage TV.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Joel McHale, I knew him from Community, and I thought his sort of snarky style, this is very much the way he was on Community, but I think you need something to undercut it. I think that this is him like, look how cool I am, and it's not working. It's not funny to me at all. Yeah,
well, I think that his charm still works for him, but yeah, the writing's nothing here. His charm can't save the material.
I think it's also it's a period thing. Like we talked about this a little bit last week about our cartoon president. There's certain things in this era you can't just do a dumb show about reality TV. Reality TV is not a problem right now. We're not worried about reality TV. We're worried about reality. Like if you just want to make fun of it's such soft target, such an easy mark, and your comments, your jokes have nothing to say. There is no point to this show.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's devoid of any value, and I definitely think it's dated material. It's for the era that before DVR. It's for the era that when you were at home sick from school or you were stuck in the mechanic's waiting room, you had to watch the shitty Jerry Springer or whatever the fuck was on TV.
Yeah.
And to have someone else be like, yeah, you saw that kind of garbage? We saw it too, and we're going to make some jokes about it. I felt like it had a little bit more of a time and place back then.
Here's the thing. At Midnight did something similar. It had kind of a snarky host, and they did stuff from the internet. Like they'd find the weirdest stuff on the internet and on YouTube and that kind of thing. And that was always funny and clever and had something to say. It was light. It didn't have much of a solid point either, but they did that well. And this is not that far off in premise, but in execution, it's really bad.
Well, let me ask you this. When you saw the announcements that Joel McHale was going to have a show on Netflix, is this what you thought it was going to be?
No, not at all.
I mean, I thought it might be some sort of variety show or talk show, or I don't know, like him doing experimental videos. Maybe I thought there might be a little bit of an evolution from a Talk Soup format to something a little bit more like Tosh.0.
Right.
Like what he would do, he would comment on bizarre stuff found online.
Right.
But yeah, why is he doing this?
I don't know.
This just seems beneath the talent of him, of the writers, because the production of this, like, you know, it looks clean and polished.
Yep.
He executes this, obviously phoning it in 30 minutes a week or whatever.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know.
It's definitely beneath Netflix.
Yeah.
And they have Fuller House.
We both watched like 2 episodes of this.
No, I watched an episode.
Okay.
I did not
we
watch
both
the
watched. I watched an episode and a half. I was going to try and round up to you, but no good, guys. Don't watch this. Don't bother.
It's a waste of your time.
And hopefully it gets canceled in a little bit, and he goes on to something else. Man, he was also on that other garbage show, that like show where he's like working for a magazine company that does like camping stuff.
I'd totally forgotten this show.
I think it was on CBS, and had him and McLovin on there.
It's weird.
Yeah, post Community, he's just chosen some pretty poor projects and stuff that seems dated again.
And that's weird because he was the lead of Community. That was his chance to shine. So
I'm struck by how tall that guy is. Every time he has other guests on, they're so short next to him.
Yeah, he's very tall.
All right, well let's move on from that garbage fire to David Letterman's second episode of his little mini series where he interviews some of the most famous people in the world that he just wants to chat with. And the second person in his series is George Clooney.
By the way, I will never say this again in any context, but I feel a little bad for George Clooney.
Oh, yeah?
Because he is sandwiched between President Obama and Malala Yousafzai.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. I mean, yes, George Clooney is a charming and handsome man, but you're talking about the guy who led the free world for eight years very, very well, who we all still love and desperately wish was still president.
Yeah.
And the most inspiring young woman in the world.
Yeah.
And then you got the guy who made Ocean's 11. I love Ocean's 11.
And Batman Forever.
I love Ocean's 11. Don't get me wrong.
Or wait, Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. But I mean, that's a big bar to clear. And to be honest, I think they did well. Like, I thought this was a fantastic episode.
Yeah, I was taken by the interview. I already was like, man, there's just something about George Clooney. He's a little bit too smarmy for me and too know-it-all. He can't seem to resist being the guy with the wry smile who can make a joke of anything or not take anyone seriously ever or ever be genuine about anything.
Grant, just a minute. You were lost in his eyes.
But yeah, I was lost in those dreamy eyes. But I still, despite that, because I don't think that guy's really dropped, except for like at one point he was talking about the work that his wife does.
Yeah.
Amal.
Amal Clooney.
I don't, whatever her last name is.
I don't know.
And, you know, he was being genuine about that. And he talked a little bit about his father and his childhood. But, yeah, the rest of it is just kind of like quip.
Oh, I liked it. I liked the back and forth between him and David Letterman. Just like I think that's
one
of the
things
too. I think that's one of the things interesting is that Letterman. One of the reasons Letterman's such a great interviewer, and he may be the best as far as people who are around right now. I mean, is that he puts on this sort of prickly facade, but he's good at getting people to sort of not only open up to him, but to sort of feel comfortable enough to sort of rib him back, whether that's Obama or Clooney. And so you get this sort of collegial feeling between them. And so the interview feels a little more informal, even though they're talking about kind of heavy stuff about family and past history and all that kind of stuff. Like I thought they did a good job of these two famous guys, just like in the first episode, of me feeling like, you know what, I like these guys and I feel like they're having normal human conversations right now.
It's also fascinating how, I mean, I find that Letterman keeps like wanting to. There's something grandiose about all these people, right?
Yeah,
they're all larger than life. That's somewhat intentional about the premise of the show, but the fact that Letterman still tries to be all gee shucks humble about stuff, and he like tries to like, oh, we're just a couple of Joes eating this product placement hamburger here by the airport. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But he's also transitioned from this late night host that, you know, is in competition with other late night hosts. They have to do their daily interviews with a bunch of knuckleheads, and, you know, you're not really taking things seriously when someone's just giving the same tired, canned answers to things week after week. That he gets to do a much more focused interview style. He's no longer seen as just this wisecracking knucklehead, but he's got that beard, and there's something really comforting and grandfatherly about him.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay, I really like that this is the project he chose and transitioned into.
Yeah. I mean, I do miss him throwing watermelons off a roof. Don't get me wrong.
I don't need it. I don't need his top 10 and his licking his teeth or whatever.
I liked that David Letterman. Yeah, I agree. This is sort of the elder statesman version of Letterman. I'm really enjoying, and I like the format that he chose, where he goes and talks to their families, and we sort of see their life. I think that's really interesting. It reminds me a little bit of the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee over on Netflix, which is similar kind of thing.
Yeah, I really appreciate how he juxtaposes the interviews that he does with the kind of look at these grander issues in our culture. You know, in the first episode, he's got him walking across the bridge with John Lewis and Selma. In the second episode, he's talking about Darfur and like the humanitarian efforts that Clooney has done, as well as like his parents taking in Iraqi refugee.
You're gonna love the episode 5 where it's Trump. You're gonna figure it's fantastic, and they're really gonna dig deep into all the important issues for Trump.
Well, I mean, I'm just very impressed with what Letterman's done, with how he's taken this project, that how he releases it monthly, everything about it, and each episode is really well executed.
Yeah, this is likely to wind up on my best TV of the year list. It's really good.
Yeah, well, until Trump episode. Well, let's jump over and talk about our last show for this episode, which is last week tonight. It is back for season, what is this, 4?
5. Season 5.
Yeah, I feel like maybe those seasons are a little shorter, or like they wrap up and then start back up in weird spots.
I agree.
But yeah, season 5 of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and this is fantastic, man. I am so glad to have him back.
Yeah, and it's great that he came back to be able to taunt the guy who had his lawsuit dropped.
Oh yeah,
That is so what I love about John Oliver, he's got all this stuff that sort of he does these long running gags, and Jon Stewart had him too on the Daily Show, but there's more of it here. That like his running gags are built around like he adds this cast of obscure weird characters like Jeff the Diseased Lung or the Squirrel. That he brings back here, like those little bit of
shit.
Yeah. The British sense of humor, the sort of the not erratic but
neurotic,
obscure, offbeat that he's got. I can't find the word that I'm looking for, but he's got this sort of off key sense of humor that really works, and that it highlights the absurdity of he's talking about serious things in a serious way. Like they do essentially investigative journalism. They do deep stories, deep dives on issues that don't get covered as much, and they do it in a way that is both informative but riotously funny. And that requires a certain. He knows that it's absurd, but he also knows it's serious.
This most recent episode had him talking about the Italian election and how like terrifying it is.
Yeah.
Whoever might take charge there, and. You know, in his true style, he's like, but you folks must know we ain't going to leave it there if you've watched our show long enough. And like the idea that he might in some way be eligible to try and run.
Hilarious.
It like at least him being able to use that as like a running gag throughout this season of how he's interjecting himself into the conversation and trying to steer things in a particular direction for a whole country is fascinating.
Yeah.
I hope we see more of that, because he does do like these long running gags, like you say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is just obviously this voice that we liberals, we sane, rational people, if I can at least claim, if I want to bring some conservatives over who also appreciate his thought process and his style, you guys can have him too. I think, it's just something we need. It's vital.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to have this back. Like, I think about, like, I don't watch Samantha Bee as much. I appreciated her style.
Yeah.
I don't do Daily Show anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll see clips, and it's gotten better. But the interesting thing about John Oliver is that he does talk about Trump every week. I mean, you kind of have to. It's sort of in the news. But he's not so focused on it that we don't get stories like about the Italian election or about the corruption investigation against Netanyahu. Like, he is talking about worldwide news, and that was kind of one of the focuses he brought, and I think that that's really good.
There's this asshole in the media, Piers Morgan.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, everyone does. Think his own parents probably do. He was talking, he posted something about, like, how dare John Oliver try and say we and us regarding, like, Americans. He's like, you're not an American. I know where you grew up. Yeah. And I was thinking, fuck you. John Oliver is an American. He is as honorary as an American as I think we can have.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
That's the thing. John Oliver is the perfect voice for this because he is from the outside, but he's been here so long that he does speak for America. He's
entrenched in our culture.
He speaks a lot about how much he loves this country, and he loves it from the faith of someone who wasn't born here. He chose to come here. That's a much bigger commitment than just you were born here and then started popping up your USA flags.
Yeah.
Like, he chose to come here and become part of this nation. That makes him more of an American than Piers Morgan. Also, Piers Morgan's an asshole. That makes him more of an American than Piers Morgan.
And all his shows get canceled because he sucks.
Yeah. So, fuck you, Piers Morgan. Start a fight with the TV dudes.
Yeah.
We're Americans.
We need the boost. Yeah, but, in all seriousness, fuck Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
So 2 of these shows this week were fantastic.
Yeah.
Joel McHale show, no one watched that.
No.
Don't worry about it.
Do that.
Yeah. Next week, I believe we got some more pretty fascinating shows to discuss. Do you remember what they are?
There's a bunch of stuff coming up, and next week is kind of a weird one because we have South by Southwest coming, and some of us are going to a bunch of South by Southwest stuff.
I'll be there to record this day right beforehand.
But we weren't going to record that week. We were going to record 2 episodes and then...
Oh, next week we're doing a double...
So we're going to talk... And this is going to be spread over 2 shows, so I don't know which ones will be on which, but we're going to talk about The Looming Tower on Hulu. We're talking about 7 Seconds over on Netflix, iZombie coming back at CW, the new show Good Girls on NBC, and The Return of Atlanta on FXX.
Yeah, I'm so excited about Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm happy to see both that and iZombie back. And
I've been hearing some great things about The Looming Tower, too.
Yep, and Good Girls is a good cast, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Good Girls isn't The Good Place, though. You know that.
It's not.
Not the same thing, Randy.
No, I know.
No.
I know.
All right, guys.
What about The Good Wife? Is that a spinoff of The Good Place?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The Good Wife and The Good Fight are both happening in The Good Place.
Oh, okay. What about Good Times? Was that about The Good Place?
Partially.
Okay.
Because there was parts that were going on in the bad times.
What about the book Goodnight Moon? Is that about The Good Place?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay. That's all I got.
That was pretty good. Pretty good. All right, guys. On that note, good night. And until next week.
TV Dude's out. Piers Morgan sucks.
The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast and a member of the Permanent Record Podcast Network. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, please go to patreon.com/TVDudes. You can like us on Facebook and Twitter at TV Dudes and help us out on iTunes by giving us a 5-star rating and writing a review. To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com and permanentrcrd.com. I'm Grant Davis. Thanks for listening.